So today we are talking about Pinterest. We're going to talk briefly on how to set up a Pinterest account, things to do with that, and then I'm going to show you some of my analytics. I'm going to show you my traffic from Pinterest to Teachers Pay Teachers and the strategies that I use and that you can use too. They are so easy. Stay tuned. Everyone, my name is Lorianne, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. Here at It's All Primary, it's about teacher side hustles. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for journeying with me. I so appreciate you. Today we are talking about Pinterest. I had at least one request a few months ago, and I knew I was going to get to this video eventually, but I thought now is a good time because I have had a Pinterest business account for just over a year now. I think I started it May of 2020, and it's been a little bit, up and down, but mainly because there was an algorithm change in the fall, and like many others, my numbers dropped, and I have slowly got them back. They're not back exactly where they were of September 2020, but they are getting there, and I project I predict they will be back in the next, I would say they'll be back by July, because they are growing really well right now. Let me just start by saying that Pinterest is a love-hate relationship with TpT Sellers. I've been on the forum posts pretty regularly, and it is like 50-50. They love it or they hate it. They give it up. They're excited about it, right? It's one or the other. I don't see too many down the middle. It's one or the other. And I am of the I love it camp. It has taken me a while to figure out the algorithm, but now that I feel like I'm on top of it, I really enjoy it. And I can get traffic from Pinterest to TpT better than I can with Instagram. And I find Instagram, that one is a love or hate for me. I'm on there mainly to answer your DMs, to talk to my online friends. I don't market very well on Instagram, and it has taken a long time to get to the numbers that I'm at. I think sometimes that's the whole point of all of these platforms. It really is a long game, and sometimes we will put hours upon hours into one platform, and then we can't understand why doing all the shortcuts will suddenly work for another platform. They are all long games, whether it is Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, Teachers Pay Teachers, Boom, even to some extent. They are all long games, and so you need to be patient with them. The thing about Pinterest is that Pinterest tells you what they favor right now, and that's always great to kind of jump on the trend at the time. They send out trending reports every single month, and when they do that, I'm always looking to see exactly what they're looking for, and they'll tell you. So that's always a good thing. One of the things that they are favoring, and they've been favoring this I don't know how long, but they like seasonal stuff, particularly with teachers. Pins usually take anywhere from 6 to, 10-12 weeks to get picked up and then really circulated on the boards, not on the boards, but in people's scrolling. So if that's the case, then you're literally looking at what holidays and what seasons are happening 90 days in advance. We're ending school, and yet the best time to be pinning back to school things is right now. 90 days, right? Most of us are back to school in 90 days. We're not even out. And I already have to start pinning back to school items. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. If you were a brand new TpT seller, or you're just thinking about starting on TpT, don't worry about this video. In a couple other videos, I've talked about put your head down and focus and get yourself 20-30 products in your store. Don't worry about anything else. Just create content. Just create content. Then pick one platform to market. And that's your choice. You do you. I personally would have chosen to, if I'd have known what I know now, I wouldn't have spent so much time on Instagram. I would have got off it, and I would have hit Pinterest harder than I did. And I did spend quite a bit of time last summer setting up my Pinterest boards because I didn't have any. I started from scratch. Actually, what I realized is I found a inactive Pinterest account, no followers, no impressions, but I had account. What I did was I switched it to business. And then when I switched it to business, I started creating boards. I didn't even have proper boards on it, but I don't know why I set it up. I can't remember. But anyways, I did, and then I started making brand boards and things like that. But if you have 20 to 30 plus products in your TpT store and you haven't decided where to market, let me suggest Pinterest. And it will be as much work as Instagram. I don't care what anyone says, they are equal amounts of work. Pick one. Personally, I honestly think Instagram's harder to get your stuff marketed. But there will be teachers who will tell you the exact opposite. They'll tell you the same thing about Pinterest. Go to Pinterest. You can log in with Google, set up a business account. It's free. And the reason why you want a business account is because then you can look at your analytics. But set up a business account and then open up about 5 boards. Make a board that says brand board. Make a board that says my TpT products. Make a board that says my boom cards, if you're doing boom cards. Make a board that is based on your niche. So for me, I am primary math. I actually made a few boards on primary math. I did a primary math board. I did a grade 1 math, grade 2 math, grade 3 math, kindergarten math. So I did a bunch of math boards. And then I also started some reading boards, so resources for particularly certain math concepts. If there's one particular math concept that I was focusing on, like telling time, then I did a telling time board. But those came. But I think I started with 5 or 10. I spent one Saturday night. I threw on a movie that I'd seen so many times that it didn't matter how much of it I actually watched. It was just kind of noise in the background for me. But I set up all these boards. And then because many of these boards didn't have anything, I knew I needed to get some pins in there. Now, the ones that were just my niche boards, not my brand board or my TpT products, I spent about 30 minutes over about 4 or 5 nights, somewhere around dinner time. I can't remember if I was doing it before dinner or after dinner, but I kind of made it a little plan for myself to go on to Pinterest and pin some things that actually applied to my niche, just to populate my boards. And I also wrote descriptions for my boards and everything else. And then I sat down and I started making pins. And I think I initially used the free Canva to make pins. And they actually say, when it says create a design, you can say Pinterest pin and it will give you the dimensions and everything. It's great. And I just took my covers and resized them as a pin. That's what I did. And so it took a while to get a decent amount of pins in my brand board, my TpT, what do I call it? My TpT product, my TpT products, boom cards, right? It took me a while to get those populated, but I focused on that that was one of my focuses during the summer. Before I turn my camera around, let me just share a story. Back in the fall, the algorithm for Pinterest changed. They announced it in the spring. It happened in the fall, and many people who had thousands of impressions and followers suddenly lost it all. I didn't lose followers. I just lost impressions. And impressions is where your pin will show up if I was to scroll and your pin is somewhere on that page, that's an impression. People's impressions drop drastically. So back in September, I was somewhere around 11,000. I think I got as high as 12,000 maybe for a week. But I was at about 11,000. And considering my Pinterest account was 5 months, I think, at that point, I was thrilled. I was thrilled. And at the rate I was going, I was tracking my numbers each week. I could see myself hitting about 30,000. I was like over the moon, ready. And then all of a sudden, it dropped. And it went from 12,000 to about 4,000, and then it went to 1,000, and then it was in the hundreds. And I was like, wow. And I was shocked, just like many other people were about their Pinterest accounts. But then I started watching Pinterest YouTube videos. And some of them were like they were saying, calm down, don't worry about this, just keep making fresh pins. And then that's what I started doing. And I added Tailwind, I'll put a little picture of it, scheduler to Pinterest. And it costs, I don't know what the American cost is. It costs me 12 something a month. But I forced myself to schedule about 3 pins a day. Nothing crazy, that's for sure. In fact, I think I started with 2 pins, and then by Christmas I was doing 3 pins. And I started doing that just to force myself. And every Tuesday night, I usually finish products up on the weekends, and then Tuesdays I would make all these pins, and I'd try to make enough pins and you put them into multiple boards, intervals, not all at the same time. I'll show this to you. And my Pinterest account started growing again, and it got to about 5,000 in December, early January, and it dropped again. And I was like, what? And again, started watching. When things drop, instead of getting upset, I'm just thinking, okay, what are the experts saying? What do they say? Anastasia Blogger, who I've mentioned before, she has a very large Pinterest following, and she said that right now Pinterest is favoring video pins and story pins. Now, I thought story pins were going to take me too long to do, and so I went to video pins. And a gal over in the TpT forum, seller forum, was talking about her sudden growth, and she was attributing much of it to Pinterest, and she says she did video pins. And so I asked her, how easy or hard is it to make video pins? And she said it's super easy. Canva has animated images, use them. And I went, excellent. And so one of my strategies in January was to make video pins, and to make sure that at least 1 to 2 video pins every week was going on, was being scheduled in Tailwind, and then going into the different boards. It worked. My numbers, again, had dropped. They were climbing back up. It has been a slow growth, but it's been a steady growth. I'm going to show you my analytics. Last I looked, I was at high 7,000s, low 8,000s. I might even be at 8,000. I haven't looked today. I don't know. So we'll find out together. But that's where it was. And I didn't realize how successful Pinterest has been until one day I was looking at traffic for something else in TpT, and suddenly I saw 42% conversion rate with Pinterest, and I went, what? What? 42? Come on. It's a little bit lower now, but I think it's still in the 30s. I was like, what? You can't tell me this doesn't work. That's amazing rates. That's amazing rates. I was floored. So I'm going to show you, like I said, I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you some of the boards that I created. I'm going to show you the conversion rates. I'm going to go over to TpT. I'm going to show you my conversion rate there, so you can see this. And I'm not doing any of this, disclaimer alert. I'm not doing this to brag. I'm doing this to show you Pinterest works. Pinterest is great. Okay. I'm going incognito, so Chrome doesn't recognize me or my habits. And see, welcome to Pinterest. Go down to create a business account, and then you can just type in your information and create account. And then when you get there, this is my Pinterest boards, and this is just all them in general and what's been posted. And with a business account, you will see extra numbers. So you'll see monthly views here. You will see searches, those who've seen it, are saving it, pinning it. Right? You'll get these extra things that you don't normally get with a personal Pinterest account. But I can go up to analytics here and go to overview, and oh, that's even better. So here are my impressions. I thought there was 8 point, and they will be different than your monthly views. I don't know why they're different, but they are. This is probably over the last, this is the last 30 days. Very happy with those numbers. And then down below here, I'll tell you your top boards. So there's my primary math. Here's my niche one, and I'm looking here, and I like some of these numbers. I'd like to get them higher. But you've got your impressions, so it's been on people's pages. I've got pin clicks, saves, outbound clicks. This is where they go probably to TpT or to Boom. So I have that one. This is my blog. I've got 7 that have gone to the website. Boom cards, there's another 3. So these are my top boards, and I'm thrilled that they are my top boards because of these are my main boards. And if you notice, and I mentioned this prior to getting on here, is I do a lot of video pins. And this one here, now no longer called story pins, they're called idea pins. So here are my top video pins and my idea pin, which was actually just posted not too long ago. But that is the analytics. And you can sort of see what days, Saturdays, that's a weekend for us, a holiday weekend. Sundays, what that day is Monday, that was a holiday Monday, right? Weekend seems to be, for me, probably for many people, the best time. But let me just show you some boards. Let me get out of here. So when I created this, I made a description. I've used these pipes. I talk about my niche. So here are my boards, and I now have lots of boards. And some of my boards, I actually took the time last summer and created these on Canva covers for all my boards. And, you know, I just recently started a teacher side hustle. It's only got 3 in it. It's not going to get a lot of traffic that way, but I've got a couple that I need to add to it. But I thought I'll just keep them all very similar. Some of these are going to be private down the bottom here, but I try to commit a certain amount of time every week. Even though they don't always favor existing pins, I still put a few pins on to show just that I'm active in these accounts, in these pin boards. Up here, you just go to create. You can create a pin here. You can create that idea pin, which is a series of videos joined together. And I did one, and it did really well. I'll just quickly show you. I'm going to move over to Canva. So as you can see, I got thumbnails. And here, if you see this side by side here, here is the Boom Cards cover, and then I make with that cover a pin. So if I go into this one for now, so after I make this cover, I go up to resize, and it says Pinterest pin, and I go click here, and I hit copy and resize, and then I do this one. This one will then, I just stretch it out. And if you notice what I've done, I always put some sort of animated element from my pro account, and that constitutes this pin as a video pin, and I'll download it as an MP4. I can also publish straight into Pinterest, actually, and I can also schedule it from Canva. I've done this a couple times, but because I had paid for a Tailwind account there, I move a lot of them into Tailwind. I have done them both places, and so it's super easy in Canva to make these. The last place I'm going to go is to TpT. my traffic here, and it's the beginning of June, and so I think I have 2 sales. It's been slower. A lot of teachers are now out, but you go to your dashboard and then you go to traffic, and no traffic this week, but this just started 12 hours ago. They do it as of Sunday. So I'm going to just go to, I don't think I've had any traffic from Pinterest this month. Oh, I have it. Oh, look at that. So just this month alone, I've had 4 clicks, and it's been a quarter of a, so one sale out of 4. I love it. So one of my 2 sales this month has been because of Pinterest. But if I go to the quarter, so this would be January, February, March, April, May, June. I think it's April, May, June is our quarter. Let's see. So Pinterest, 30%. So made $18, 23 clicks from Pinterest. And then back in, if I do the year, so that would be January to now, 55 clicks, 14%. So I think it was my April month that I had the 40. Let me just check here. Custom range. April 1st to 30th. Yeah. So here's Pinterest for the month of April only, 42%. Just 7 clicks, but still, my biggest thing is I need to make higher priced items. But for the most part, Pinterest is what's getting me conversions. If there's something I haven't shared and you'd like to see it again, please pop a comment down below. But I think that's all I was going to show you. Okay, like I said, I enjoy Pinterest. I find it much easier to use for marketing. One of the things, I don't know if I remember saying it earlier, is one of the other things I'm seeing is that Pinterest is driving traffic to my blog. I'm getting traffic from Pinterest to my website, and that's been really cool because I was averaging 5 to 10 views every 30 days, and now I'm upwards of 100 views. Now that's still not very high in the blogging world, but 100 is a significant number for me. Again, considering I started my website, and I started my website. I did a DIY website in July, slogged through that. If you're not tech savvy, I don't recommend that personally, but and I'm graphically challenged, so that just made it even harder. I recently actually paid somebody to help me redesign my website, and it's looking much better. It's still got some glitches, and I'm still working on those. But nonetheless, the traffic is coming to the website, and some of that is from Pinterest. If you've got a website or a blog or thinking about doing that, Pinterest again will drive traffic to your website. If you have a Pinterest account and you would like me to look at it, pop it down below. I will take a look at it. We're getting close. I've still got 3 weeks left of school. It's crazy. If you are part of the 90-day challenge, I am going to do a 90-day TpT challenge update video. I don't think it's going to be very long, maybe 10 minutes, but I'm going to pop it in, and I might even pop it in not on Tuesday or Saturday. I might just throw it in as an extra video just to let you know. But basically these weeks, my report cards are due in a couple days. One of the things that I've been doing is organization, cleaning emails, and I have 3. One's a business, one's a personal, and one's a junk. I've cleaned them all. I have cleaned my desktop this past weekend. I am working on my clip art files, so everything is being cleaned so that the moment school ends, I might take 1 or 2 days off, and then I am hitting this hard. There is a book called Do the Hard Things First, or something like that, Do the Hard Things. That's what I'm doing. Even if I'm tired, I've made the decision to hit TpT very hard in July, because the back to school sale is at the beginning of August, and then I can relax on TpT and focus on other stuff for August. I don't have a job for September. This is crazy. I'm finishing up 24 years in teaching, and I don't have a job, but I trust God immensely. And in all my years, I've always had a job. I've always had a job. It doesn't usually come in my time because I would want it now, but that's okay. It helps me to not focus on planning during the summer. It's good and bad, but that's fine. It is what it is. So one of the upcoming videos is going to be the 90-day challenge. The next video is going to be a 1-year anniversary for TpT. I've been on TpT now just 1 year. May 31st, the day I uploaded my first paid product. So June, I always call June 1st my anniversary day. Anyways, so you will see that one coming up next, I believe. I've had a couple requests to talk about flattening and securing products, converting PowerPoint to Google Slides, and even though there's some videos out there, I'm happy to do another one. And again, if you want a video of anything, even if I've already done it, if you just want a video clarifying something, if you want another Pinterest video, pop it down below. Just tell me what you'd like. Some of you are sending me email requests on terms of use sample page, which I send you. I don't always get to it in the first day or two of your email, but I've been sending those out. I might do a video on terms of use because I'm thinking of updating this, as there is an Digital Millennials Act, I can't remember what it's called. It's been recommended to put a snippet of that in your terms of use. So that video is probably coming too. I have a lot of videos on the list. Also, don't forget to register for the TpT Forward Conference. All of July, it's going to be excellent. $79. It's a deal. They're not paying me to say this. It's a deal. It really is. I've been to conferences that are worth thousands. I don't think those would be near as good as this one. And I will be making videos on during the conference week, so you can catch those in July. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe and healthy. And we'll catch you in the next video. Take care, everyone.